The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, is accusing the Ghana Revenue Authority of going ahead to charge cargo tracking notes. According to them, the Office of the Vice President issued a directive for the charge or charging for that note to cease. We've been joined in studio by the chairman of the Spare Parts Dealers Association at Aboseokai, Clement Boateng. Good morning. Thanks for your time. Now, you've been hitting really hard on this cargo tracking note. What exactly is it?
Thank you very much for having me. Apart from being the acting chairman of Aboseokai Spare Parts Dealers Association, I also double as the national organizer of GUTA. So I have an in-depth knowledge about this cargo tracking notes. Yeah, this cargo tracking note that we are talking about is sort of a pre-arrival information that the Customs Division of GRA, seeks to know. But if we talk about pre-arrival information system, there's already a system in place. They have developed a manifest structure that already system is in place, whereby they can access the pre-arrival information of any cargo which is coming in to Ghana. So basically, that is how I can describe the CTN.
Yeah, the cargo tracking notes, also known as the CTN. So help us understand how it was used in the past with reference to payments and why you're being asked to pay for it now. Yeah,
this cargo tracking note has not been practiced before. It's now that they want to. It's a new system. In fact, about 3-4 years ago, during the tenure of the previous government, they had wanted to introduce it into the system, and that there was a name given to it as ASHI. That is a Advanced Shipment Information System. Yeah, that was the name the previous government gave to it. And during the time that they want to implement it, there was a stiff opposition from GUTA as well as the Freight Forwarders Association, and the importers in general. And then the then government saw the need that it had to suspend it. So it has not been in existence before. Yeah.
So how are you charged, for example, for the CTN? What's the modality?
The modalities is that they have employed an agent overseas. Wherever you go to make cargo, they have an agent over there, and you are supposed to pay $100 per 20-footer cargo, and if or per a bill of lading. So assuming maybe you are making 2 containers, they will charge you $150, but for a single container or per a bill of lading, they will charge you $100. Yeah. But they are saying that for now, GRA is going to bear the cost of it, and we know that in Ghana here, even though they will say GRA will bear the cost, but after the thing has been in place, we know definitely that the cost will be reverted back to us, and already the importer or the trader or the businessman is already saddened with a lot of taxes. So we are saying if they want to bring it into force, no problem. There are some modalities that we have to work about it, but for the cost, we are no more going to pay anything.
What are those things or modalities that you're seeking? Yeah,
the modalities that we are seeking is to, engage various stakeholders who are into the import and export business. And as I told you earlier on in my presentation, we already have a structure. We already have a manifest structure which is already in place for them to assess any information about the cargo. And that's one, we are not paying anything. So we don't understand why they want to bring in a new system which will rake in $326 million a year. And that $326 million a year is not going to government, but it is going to those people who are behind this cargo tracking notes. And you see,
and you know the people
we don't know them. We don't know them, but we know it's just a single company which has been assigned, to do this, and we think it is unfair. And even before they will be able to, start the implementation or, do this cargo tracking note, it has to go into Parliament. There is no LI backing this CTN, and we think it's unfair for one single company to rope in $326 million without government getting anything.
You said you've seen a directive from the Vice President asking the GRA to cease taking these fees for the cargo tracking notes, but the GRA is still going ahead. Have you had any meeting with them?
Well, the GRA, if I could remember, we had a meeting with the technical advisor of GRA and the cargo tracking notes consultant. I think that was, if my memory will serve me right, either late last year or early part of this year at Alisa Hotel. And on that meeting, we made it clear to them what I'm telling you right now. That is the presentation we make to them. So at that meeting, Mr. Soti made us to understand that they are going to suspend it until they make further engagements. And if after the engagement they found it necessary that it should be implemented, then they will go ahead to implement it. But as at the meeting that we had with them, there has not been any meeting again.
All right. We've been speaking to some spare parts dealers at Obosokai, and they've been complaining about what they call skyrocketing import duties.
We are currently at Obosokai Spare Parts Dealers Association. We are thereabouts in the market. Now, these people were one of the priorities of the subsequent or this particular government, as they promised them that we're going to remove some taxes and import duties from them. But we are here to find out from them ahead of tomorrow's budget review to find out how they have been feeling and how their businesses have been thriving over the past few years. I've been joined by one of the importers or some of the dealers of spare parts. Let me just first of all find out from you, how has business generally been for you?
Actually, business has been dull nowadays. We have a big dream because they have promises for us. Even the first, promises of the government was he will clear import duties and things. So we were ready for him. We supported him 100%. But we heard they have cleared import duties on some of our parts. We were happy here. We shouted, we jubilated, did everything. We thought there's the time our business is going to boom. But could you believe that when we went to clear our goods, things were the same as it was. It was even higher than how it was. It was a big disappointment for us. But we don't have anything to say because we don't know whom or who to talk to. You understand us? As we are speaking right now, the money we were using for our business previous years, even double of it cannot do business nowadays. So most of us are collapsing. We are closing our shops. We are not closing because we don't have money to purchase things. But when you bring the things, even people who will come and buy for you, they don't come again because of how things are going. So we are suffering.
So basically, you're not feeling anything in your pocket?
I don't want to talk much. If I'm saying, you have to talk for you yourself. You can't talk for your brothers. But what my experience now is, at first, when we come to work, like by this time, you see business, people are buying and things. Nowadays, when we come, you see us chatting. Those who know how to play draft, they'll be playing draft. It's not that business is not going, nothing is happening, nothing at all. Because the goods that are coming, people cannot come and patronize. You understand? We are suffering.
Let's talk about the foreigners who are also taking over your businesses. I mean, we know that they've been given some deadline, I think 27th of this month, to vacate. Are you seeing signs of them leaving, or you're still seeing them in the business?
They are in the business. They are in the business. And they have strategies. You see them say they are leaving. Our boys, some of our boys, have been dealing with them secretly. When you go there, you know that this shop is for a foreigner. But you see Ghanaian, a store boy like my store boy, they'll just come, give him money, put him there. I have evidence of some of them like that. So it's the same thing. And what they do is they are spending the business even more than anything. You understand? They bring the goods that they bring. It's not the original as we are purchasing. You understand? They go, especially for the brand new people, they go and bring the ones that are not good. When you are selling your own for the proper price, you see they will come and tell they have this here, they have it here. So they are part of the collapsing of the business. So we need help. You push to help us.
Thank you very much. And so you had one of the spare parts dealers. But let me also try and get to speak to some of the people who actually deal with this business. In part, what happens to say on here, but you think now, me will say, una only shop where na.
But I, me a store boy.
Okay. And so far the business no saying the cost amount.
Business in there, mammy, and masters no mususa, your better, your toshi, your better, and a sakufi. About sacred scacrom, do my cry now, a quacker program. And koye.
Now, taxes now, your promise to say, to a year free more import duties, no more filling, when pocket money.
Oh, David. And me, at least I need at least a master's now. And koye, because I always be almost say, or more attitude duties in this, but your master's say, yes, I know it is, and to Montes here. They be a dear than a sanity. That than the crisis, a crowd was so cry first. In Cabo, and come and try first moment, Siciano. He said, and then you cry, your breath off, and which year. Ye be the crown, your bar, your breath, your pageant in the crazy karma, almost a miniska. Indeed,
why disappointed?
Serious. Me no by next 2 years, me travel be me Canada, me to be 2020, me to be abre.
So those are that's a disappointed dealer. But I have seen this particular man shout at the background telling me how difficult it is. But obviously, from Kakrana only action command bear me there. Okay, now mpacho business no ekoso saying amount.
Oh, sisi ade slow movement wa see. Sisi ade ntohwe ye ba betenatena asa ade sane asori ku fie sa. Even me boss crap onyam ko due to near 5,000. Your call and then return the Boko University 2,500 so I did. Very bad. It's in the government no so no young baby. Omunya we power and there assassinate doko but omunya we are omunimi into also mission omunya baby. Yes, I also about to yes we fire one you.
It's what I said omuka so meaning na won finish your bottle.
Mami omuyi hwe. Echina ye kwota my port. Come to me about come do move hu de ekoso no. Omuyi hwe.
Final words to apply anything.
Also, I'm sure no more sisan nyamemo, omo yen sachrai because omo yes and omo yes we individuals yes we there yeah brepa into no so omo yen sachrai. Yes sir. Kokromuti power no corner. E ba no so be hu say na yes we be there yes we be no.
So most of these people are actually threatening not to. Okay. Okay, so you've heard from some of the spare parts dealers. I mean, initially I had wanted to speak to some of the importers of these particular goods, but then most of them denied speaking to us because they were scared that they would be sidelined. Let me just get to speak to one of the importers who I spoke to earlier. I wanted to speak. I see him eating. But we say, "Oh, did the man patch spare time kakra?" Now, who now you importer? Who now feel it winning more? How would you describe what you man? What describing say?
Oh, the way I describe what you man say. Me a full MPP supporter, but I never be a Dania Mantiasi because me nyama but Nancy am kwa nyama duty be a tweetiano. Any nyama be a course report on manya dem mampe. Was Skebu and say Tuano, still an air, GM. Skebi, I am Vanzabia, I am Vanessa. Officers need be GGA, young Tiasi. Because upon which you to ground and still no they say you have to pay money before they will release you out. And yes, sir, the best is junior man to also the Uchia. You know, also a band ready, if you're not tackles are side and at the Maya.
Now, what's a cargo tracking notes in Wasem?
I'm the maintain Wasem.
Sad duties now almost agency be outside or no ebeje inspecting my goods no it's me a charge on it. It was supposed to take effect from this month from the Ghana Revenue Authority. Mon call for mon paying for akeke against it. Meaning say what's who say so dia. It's also part of one of those charges as say mutia. But in all no Okoyi Onyema F reports any more duties including everything I owe and how much and I charge you to clear everything.
It's too much, it's enough because the reason why it's enough say duty I met you and first say be a car no cry bridge or born me to a car no duty I met you is more than the car no clapo. And too much then the man because make my to car be an example say be a mattis. This kind of matches 3 hours will be how many years we are no. Make my to there buy be just an example of our money about it be a 3,000 Ghana cedi. But we try almost times 3 waha. What I say? Now me banana me share can a boy me to wa me ba na me buy na me hwe duty I demand man. I just how would I say the car? Na just say me ton car na aboard but say bi abrojo no so car no so ye car so so bra beto. Na also kokoto na ye de nya bidi. By duty na demand duty na too much into na bar. That's also say so ye a ton high price.
So basically what he's saying is that trying to clear their goods from the port has become very expensive to the extent that even when you buy the goods outside, the money you use to clear the things here in Ghana is even more expensive than how much you actually bought the goods and service. But I mean, foreigners now, particularly more retail business, no, in himself, more deadline, 27. I saw me so free business name. Who are so can I say? When we saw more and I still I'm go so I say
so and they have been challenging us and they have been bringing our business down because bar ABR them fan say there are huge amount of them ABR now almost store back you know or no buy business no you know because of who your individual back open you know or break my I say and nyama no the ban so no original. But you're the citizen of Ghanaians, no man the banner original. But on no foreign foreigners about back to us on him say be a foreigner no Yamano de near Papa Sim. And Jomono Bridge Massy. And you know there was a banner there because Uqua Brucia say we are foreigner, only to me, ultimate at no cruise. Only to me, but a Hano foreigners I had you, Uqua can share now. There be a Susan to say stores like a Sakasia, a war on a general and so our store be na store no one example say be a store also try even 10,000 and even 20,000 and 50,000 Ghana cedi due to the foreign entity you have to pay about 100,000.
Nancy MF they're bringing us some reactions from spare part dealers. I've got the acting chairman of Abosokai Spare Part Dealers here. You heard your people.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to what they're saying?
Thank you very much. You see, in my earlier presentation, I told you that when it comes to duty aspect of spare parts importation, this government has done a lot for us.
When you say a lot, what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean by, first of all, they have abolished the 10% import duty on spare parts. So we are not paying import duty, but the other taxes, we are paying it. But you see, after the abolishment or the implementation of the abolishment of the 10% import duty, we find out 3 months or 4 months into the implementation of the abolishment, we find out that we are still paying something high on the ports. So there were agitations from our people. And then there was an economic management team with the vice president. And then we complained to him. So the vice president tasked the commissioner of SEPS, Mr. Isaac Rensel, you know, to engage us and see how best this anomaly.
So eventually in July last year, you saw yes, the reflection of the abolition of the taxes. But now, today,
yes,
this is happening today.
This is what I'm saying.
They are still complaining.
I'm developing a story. I'm developing a story.
Okay, please develop your story.
Yeah, so the commissioner of SEPS, Mr. Crensel, set up a committee between the Spare Parts Association and then the SEPS division of GRA. And in the committee, there were problems with classification and valuation. Classification was, you see, in the parts that we bring, we have some of the parts which are in sets, and we have some which are in pieces. For example, if the car is a V6 car, it uses 6 pistons, which means it's a set. It's a set, yeah. And if the car is a 4-cylinder car, it uses 4 pieces, which makes 1 set. So what we found out that when the customs are doing the classification and the valuation, assuming you bought the set of piston, which is 4 pieces for $10, they will do the valuation in pieces by taking every unit. So that every unit will be taken as $10 and then it will be multiplied by 4. You see, so they will base the valuation on the 4 pieces instead of the 1 set. So we did the classification, and then the commissioner asked us to compile a list of all the items which we deemed as sets, and then items which we deemed as pieces. And then after that, he also asked us to provide him with the transaction values of the prices that we purchase our goods.
So do you agree with the complaints that we've just heard?
That's what I'm saying, that after all this thing has been done, there was a blueprint which was developed between the association and the customs, and that blueprint was what they were going to use as a basis for the valuation of our goods. And when they started using that blueprint, what we saw was that the duties that we are paying was on the lower side. But then the commissioner told us that if you are a spare parts dealer and you came to the ports to clear your goods and you find out that what you are paying is on the high side, contact the executives for us to draw their mind to it, or for us to bring the importer to the classification and valuation room, and they will see to it.
Okay, so I'm imagining the number of importers in this country. Do you have to go through that process of calling executives before?
You know, even, you see, they have even assigned 3 people at the CCVR who are basically doing the valuation of spare parts. So if you have a problem and you contact the executives, we will lead you to those people, and whatever anomaly that has been done, they will correct it.
Okay, so your statement that this government has been good or kind to you, are you speaking as acting chairman of the Abossey Okai Spare Part Dealers, or as a Guta national organizer?
No, in terms of, that is why I told you specifically on spare parts, this is what.
So you're speaking as acting chairman?
As acting chairman.
Okay, but in one of the submissions made by the spare part dealers, he mentioned that they went to the port a week ago. They were told to pay 5,000. Now they are being told to pay 7,500. Can you help us understand what accounts for the difference?
Yeah, you see, what is happening is every Tuesday the Bank of Ghana comes out with a rate for the clearance of cargoes at the port. So assuming you go there today being Wednesday, and they give you your duty will be based on the rate for this week. So if you pay within the week, you don't have any problem. But if you don't pay and you wait till next week and a new rate is brought, that means the duty will be calculated on the new rate for the week. So that is why it affected that my member who said he was supposed to pay 5,000, but when he went there to pay, he has to pay 7,000.
Now, finally, before you leave, we know that the 27th of this month has been given as deadline for foreigners in the retail business. You are with Guta, you're also with the Spare Parts Dealers Association. Are you seeing any signs of movement?
This fight is a fight that Guta has fought over the years in the successive government, and I can say those successive government that we've been engaged them, you know, to fight for this, they have not had the willpower to do it. And so when this government came in, we approached them with the same issue, and there was a committee, you know, set between the various institutions, customs, immigration, police, registrar general, Guta. We have come out with a committee, and there has been a series of engagements or series of meetings, and then they have decided that on 27th of this July, all foreigners engaged in the retail business in the market, so not every place, because you see, this fight that we are fighting, people sometimes misconstrue us. There are companies like the Koalas, like the ShopRites, like the big Mercoms and those people. We are not against those people, but the law does not allow the foreigners to engage in the retail activities in the market. When I say in the market, places like Abossey Okai, places like Makola, places like Okanshi, places like Tudu, places like Swami Magazine, the law does not allow the foreigners to be there. And this is what we are fighting for. So we are giving them 27th of this month, you know, to be off these places. If by 27th of this month they are still there, the onus lies on the Ministry of Trade to come out with the next line of action.
Thank you very much for your time. Acting chairman of the Abossey Okai Spare Parts Dealers, a national organizer of Guta, Clement Boateng, there discussing some issues within the spare parts industry, and also trades, like you just heard, or trading in the market. It will be a good time to bring in the business news to stay.